Welcome everyone to my chess stream here at lichess and Twitch. International Master Willam Paschall. This is my subscriber stream, which I do once a week here on Thursdays. Welcome everyone. We're going to be playing Blitz and classical chess, maybe doing some game analysis. My second laptop is doing some funny stuff as I start the stream, but never mind that. What's up, guys? We've got a challenge from Nefyadov. Nefyadov, usually you're late, so must have been an easy day with the work travel situation. I'm going to start with this game against Nefyadov straight up in a second here. I couldn't adjust the volume on my other laptop for a second. So Nefyadov is challenging me to 8+3. You're welcome if you're a subscriber to challenge me. I'm not going to play any non-subscribers unless we have really no other players to play. I don't mean to diss the non-subscribers, but the point of the stream is to reward my subscribers for their faithful subscriptions. Bulgar Eon Pro. I called him a Bulgar Eon Pro. Am I normal? Really? Bulgarian Pro. It's just that, like, it's all one word, and it started to throw me off. I was like, Bulgar Eon Pro. All right, let's just pronounce each syllable there. Move 11, what's up? Move 11. What do you got for me today? So I've got a message here from somebody. Bulgar Eon Pro. I'm only going to play if I don't have any subscribers to play. Neil Skinner, we've got a game from him. If you are a subscriber and you'd like me to go over a game, this applies to Move 11 as well. We're going to do some game analysis. Usually I'm just playing Blitz and Classical, but here on Thursdays I am analyzing subscriber games, or whatever game you guys want to take a look at. So it's Thursday night. Bulgarian Pro Nefyadov. Nefyadov is a regular here, and sometimes his internet, he might go out. He's on public transportation. All right, man. It's me with the white pieces. I always seem to be black against Nefyadov lately. Alright, let's just open with d4. I don't have a real plan in mind here. The mic is good. We've got no drop frames. I had to refresh my Firefox because it was acting weird. Now it's asking me if I want to allow notifications. D4, knight f6. I don't really know, Nefyadov's repertoire that well, considering that I've played so many games against him. Welcome everyone. I feel like it takes like thousands of games to really get to know a player intimately. My best friend, when I started playing chess, we must have played literally like thousands and thousands of Blitz games. That's how you can really know someone. 5, 10, 15, 20 games against somebody doesn't really, make it that easy to learn about a player. Mule Skinner, what's up? Mule Skinner with a cheer 1, thank you. Nobody's going to break the camel culture record of 200. The 200 cheer. Alright, I'm wasting time here as Nefyadov moved, and I burned almost a minute just doing nothing basically, not even realizing he had moved. Let's play a main line, e4. e4, of course, the critical against the King's Indian, but something I haven't played that often here is f3, because I'm opening with knight f3 a lot. My older repertoire, like using the same-ish against the King's Indian, obviously not viable. But the other day there was a thematic tournament on lichess, and I was kind of happy to get to play like a bishop g5 same-ish, which is one of my older repertoires. So this is the King's Indian defense. It's a favorite of the two most famous world champions of all time, Garry Kasparov and Bobby Fischer. So it's good. White system is the so-called same-ish variation. Now, a6 is interesting. I'm thinking that like maybe bishop d7 is more common, or sorry, knight to d7 is more common. Like he wants to play some kind of b5. There's some drawbacks for me playing a4. It makes my pawns like a little bit inflexible. Ayesta, what's up? You guys that have games to analyze, like Mule Skinner just sent me a game here in my messages, so you can message me or link a game to my Don't tell me anybody emailed me something, because I didn't have time to check that in the last hour or so. Now Nefedov with a kind of unusual approach. He's playing e5. e5 in general not that effective against bishop g5 type of setups, but maybe it's, you know, hard for me to open lines later on here, having played a4 on the queen side. I could even play a5 for that matter. But I think it's better just to keep him restricted. I've got another challenge from Aldous though. So Bulgarian Pro, not to put you off, but we're not going to play that challenge till we run out of subscribers to play. H6 now. This bishop h4 looks playable, but I think I'd rather not play bishop h4. It's tempting. Tempting, but you know, maybe I like this better. I can gain a tempo on the h6 pawn later on. Whenever I see with a4 c4 now, I think of Deep Black's idea in the Marazzi. Oh, okay. We were talking about that particular idea of the Grandmaster Garcia Palermo. He's a very much older generation GM from Argentina, I guess Italian originally, but he's got a lot of good opening ideas. Knight h5. So tempting me to play g4 here. I think I'm preferring queen d2 first, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to play g4 next move. This is really weird hybrid. Ambulances. Our patented sound here in Budapest. Constantly ambulances in the background. When I'm trying to like record videos and stuff. Wow. He just went nuts with the g5. That is pretty serious. Made more videos today, so there is a small chance my voice is hoarse again. I'm going to go with the g3 here. Keep him off of f4, but I'm not entirely committing myself. h4 was interesting. More questions than answers. Typical chess game. So it looks a bit cramped for black. Well, okay, the King's Indian is a hyper-modern opening. The idea is to give white a lot of space, kind of overextend themselves. I mean, it can be cramped, particularly the black bishop on g7 is in these kind of positions where he played e5. That's why, honestly, in the setups where I play f3, the modern trend is to play for c5 rather than e5. Not to say e5 is not a good plan, but just that's the way things have been trending, theoretically. Now I have a couple of possibilities. Bishop h3 is like a positional move. I've got to watch that tactically, though. Bishop h3, knight b6. Could be a trick that like wins material. So h4 looks like a good move. If he takes, I'm taking on h6 with vicious threats. I say confidently. Well, we were keeping our options open for this possibility. But now his knight on h5 has serious problems. Maybe he's like nearly lost here. I don't recall playing many King's Indians with Nefedov. Maybe he's trying to learn a new opening. I was recording a video today, so I've still got a little bit of hoarseness in my voice. I've got like a limited amount of hours I can talk. I don't know what it is. I hope I don't have some kind of voice from my golden voice. What's up, guys? Subscriber stream today. So if you are a subscriber, send me a game to analyze. We'll do some blitz and classical chess. Any time control between 5+3 and 8+3. Though I do appreciate the faster time controls, like the 5+3, 6+3, because we can play more games at those time controls. The 8+3 does get kind of long. I've long thought about maybe doing away with the 8+3 and making like a maximum of 7 minutes or something like that. But I want to thank all of you for being subscribers to my stream here on Twitch. You can also check out my uploads and other cool stuff at Video Chess Training on YouTube, my YouTube channel. I haven't created too much independent stuff of late, but I would like to in the future. Now he's got this knight b6 move, when I guess I'll just play b3. Queen d3 is kind of not really part of the program. That would take the pressure off of g5. I mean, I just think I have to play. I mean, I guess we could consider taking on g5, allowing knight takes c4. Does that like win a piece? Does pawn takes g5 like just win a piece? I mean, if that's the case, maybe it is the best move. Pawn takes g5, knight takes c4, queen c1. He's just like dropping a piece on h5. Knight takes e3, queen takes e3. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see a way out for black there. I mean, I could play b3, but it's inherently passive. If I'm just winning a piece, I'm winning a piece. We take donations in all currency, including pieces. So I asked to send me on Twitch. You sent me on Twitch. Why don't I see any notification? Like a whisper or a message? Oh man, the Twitch messages. Oh, I asked to. Making life hard for me. My Twitch is acting weird right now. Is it okay? Twitch is acting super weird. Where are my messages? Messages. And I have to like leave the screen and stuff. Oh, there you are. All right. I got. What is going on, man? There's this stupid shit here. Oh no. Okay, that's nice, but you're just getting in the way of the message. Thank you. All right, I've got the message from Aldous Ayesta. Oh man. Ayesta. Not good to send me the message on Twitch. Can you send it to me on lichess? Ayesta, can you send it to me on lichess? Because I'm going to have to like email it to myself. Otherwise, then it gets very complicated. I have Twitch running on a different computer. So just do me a favor and send me the game that you want to analyze over on lichess. If it's at all possible. Or just tell me where it is, and I'll find it. Too complicated to send myself an email while I'm streaming. But my connection is a little funny. On Twitch. Let's see how our ping is on lichess. Good. It looks good. I think Twitch is just a little bit weird. Nefedov simply losing a piece. Zen mode. Zen mode is when you win a piece for a pawn or two. But yeah, my Twitch stream is acting really, really strange. Are you guys getting this too? My chat just isn't working. It's like loading. It's really weird. Let me log out and log in again. I feel I'm just losing. Sorry guys, but my Twitch is acting really bizarre. What? I'm a little bit concerned about this. Now I can't log in. I'm able to create my account. Oh, I hit sign up by accident. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? What is going on, dude? Okay, I don't know if we're still live, but we have major issues with the Twitch stream right now. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I am restarting Twitch, my view of Twitch on my end, but I think the stream should be unaffected. There's something going on with the viewing of Twitch on my end. I can't access Twitch, so I don't know what's going on. I hope it's not the same with you guys. Win as many pawns as we can while we can here. I'm going to take on f4 next move. Now, Nefyadov, with that powerful dark-scored bishop, does get some play. Shouldn't be enough. We're basically a full piece up and the pawn. But right now, quantity is not the only thing that matters. Quality too. I'd like to trade that bishop off with bishop h3. Alright, Nefyadov resigns. Let's go back to the challenges. Ayesta, if you hear me, feel free to send me the link to this game you want to take a look at, like Mule Skinner did here on lichess. Much easier for me to access that. I hope right now you guys hear what I'm saying. You should. But I have to tend to this other machine for a second. Alright. Get back, get Mubot back up. See if I can get back on Twitch from my side. Okay, this is a game from Mule Skinner. I can tell you by the opening he's black. Alright, so it's French defense. Let's pray I can log in to Twitch. Yay, it's back. Alright. I had to restart my whole machine to get it to act normally. Alright, I'll be with you in a second. Let me update the Mubot page here. It's still hanging though. I got logged in, but it's still hanging. There's no way to ask you guys if I can't see what you're saying. Man, this looks bad. What are we doing here? Yeah, it looks like Twitch is like down or something. Got a new message. Can see the stream. Chat window looks dead. Yeah, no, it's like, it seems like Twitch is broken. That's what it looks like to me. I just want to make sure it wasn't just on my end. It looks like, from fake crab meat, it looks like Twitch is broken. Like, you can hear the stream, but there's no chat. Moobot is dead. So I'll just try to do what I can do here. Maybe continue to play and look at the games I can see. Alright, thank you for the message there. Here's the Mule Skinner game. We are logged on, and we are streaming. This is Mule Skinner playing black. It's not really going to be much fun with you guys unable to chat, though. I hate to cancel the stream. It's good to know it's just not on just my end. Mule Skinner is, I should check, like, down detector or something. Let's see. Maybe, be nice if I could search. We got problems. Right now, looks like Twitch is like crashed. Right as my stream started. It's awesome. 1900 hours. Looks like Twitch chat is totally crashed. Alright. At least it's not just me. So, Mule Skinner, if you're black here, you know, what other options can we consider? I kind of like c5, knight f3, knight c6, and then g3, bishop d6. This is a good line for black. Alexander Goldine, I remember playing this. I feel like this variation is better, you know. You're not getting in those passive, one-sided Fischer King's Indian attack type of lines. Yeah. Why can't I type in the chat here? Is this like a conspiracy or something? I can't type in chat here? Oh, this is Mule Skinner's study, so like only he can type. Alright. Okay, I understand now. It's your actual study. I thought it was like a conspiracy. So we got Twitch down. I guess it's functioning but no chat. And that's not cool. So Mule Skinner, I was just going to suggest this alternative variation as a good line. If you want to try something different, you know, putting the knight on e7 as such. This was recommended by John Watson in his book, Play the French, like modern edition or whatever. The second edition that came out. Came out around, I don't know, 1999, I think. Man, the time has gone fast since that. 2000, I don't know. Around the turn of the century. But I like this variation a lot for black, better than knight f6. But anyways, let's see what he did in the game. So, refresh my drink here. Twitch chat down. Wonderful. Just in time, like it was working all day. Just when I start streaming, just for me. Alright, knight f6. Bang, bang, bang. The other way that's interesting for black is stuff involving not playing knight c6. So, castles, even this b5 immediately is kind of interesting, complicated, but interesting. So Mule Skinner goes down like the classic line, the main line, which is probably good, but just if you want something different, I mean, maybe queen c7. Maybe b6, something more like, you know, non-committal. Or you can delay castling and try to do those things. Okay, so b5. This is main line. Except Neil Skinner played bishop b7. So how do you decide what's the best move in a closed position like this? I mean, a5, as far as I know. You're just supposed to grab as much space as you possibly can. My friend David Vigorito, who's an IM from the US, he used to play e3 against the King's Indian. And he would do this, what you're doing with black, with like an extra tempo, which I always thought was kind of funny. You really have to be he was a former French player. So you really have to be a French player to do that, to enjoy that kind of position. 485 reports of Twitch down. Problems at Twitch. Doesn't look good. All right. So a5 main line, b4, bishop b7, third main move. Dominguez played this twice along with this guy Bukavshin. h4. Neil Skinner, who is this against? You can hear me, you can type in the chat room. We can't converse on Twitch, obviously. It's like a Skype lesson. We might as well all do a Skype conference call with Twitch down. Thank you, Twitch. It's an 1850 player. Okay, well, a lot of people know these lines. You know, I mean, it is very famous because of the game like Fischer versus Mag Mercerin, the Mongolian master he massacred in that very, very famous game. So, you know, that's like quoted all over the place. But I think that bishop b7, you know, it's not as good as a5. Now you did d4. This is a new move. I mean, there's some logic to this. You know, like you're trying to challenge the long diagonal. But you do give him access to the e4 square. His knights aren't really in position to take advantage of it now, but they can pop back through like g5 and e4. So in general, I try to keep the pawns as fluid as possible. Here, it might not be a bad idea to trade some pieces because white has the faster attack on the king's side. h5. It's always difficult to know whether to play h6 or not, you know, because, and I wouldn't trust the engine at all. I mean, it's like a really, really long-term question if it's better to play h6 or not and weaken your king's side. So I in default, I would like not touch any pawns and take my chances. But it looks like here, yeah, I mean, Fischer did win a lot of games and other players did win a lot of games. I mean, you may have to think about h6. I did a series on Fischer against Fischer and the two bishops actually recently for chesslecture.com, and I was looking at a bunch of games where he won with white, but it kind of looks like he should have played h6 after all. Now, finally, there it is. He had his chances, especially like right away, rather than bishop g5. I think he should play h6 first, you know, and then think about bishop g5. I also did a series on Petrosian against the King's Indian attack. That was a lot of games like this, where Petrosian just like weakened the dark squares around the opponent's king. It looks pretty bad, actually. So, you got h6 in finally, which is something. And he makes a very speculative sacrifice there. Wow. You know, not necessary. Let's check if Twitch is going to get magically better. Oh, maybe it is. Let's see. It's trying to reload. Reloading. 751 reports. Queen d2. Nice. You saw this distractionary theme. So queen f4. It looks like Twitch almost wants to cooperate. It says I'm offline. The heck? Am I offline now? How can I be offline if it says I have 21 viewers? Oh wait, it's coming back. It's back. Wow, that's a pretty quick fix. Awesome. So we are back. That was kind of scary. Let me refresh MuBot. And okay, try waiting a bit. Type. Yeah, I think we're okay. All right. So yeah, so this guy sacks a piece for negligible compensation. Queen d8. Just trading pieces. The dark squares are a little scary. He doesn't have enough pieces to attack you with. This was like kind of risky to play f6. But it's again, like if he just doesn't have any pieces to attack you with, probably not a bad idea. He doesn't have enough material here. Just trading pieces. 3-on-2 majority on the queen side should be a touchdown. Or goal. But suddenly there's a little trickiness going on. That's unnerving. I mean, knight d3 is... You really want to get two connected passed pawns. That's like money in the bank. So knight d3 is interesting. Oh my god, this is not so clear anymore. You let it get a little bit messy. That protected passed pawn on h5, my goodness. You were fortunate. Looks like you were even equal at one point. At this point, man, before, right around here. He plays king d3. And now rook a1, activating his rook. You know how threats are perpetual? This is crazy. So he was actually okay at one moment. And then, now it's over. That was kind of nervous. This is winning now. Back and forth game, you know. I don't know, man. I wouldn't. I understand the French is an opening that I don't really play, but... Sledgy said, what? I heard some guy beat Capablanca or someone like that 12 times playing 1 f3. I don't know what you're talking about. I missed a lot of chat, obviously, with the Twitch down. But Mule Skinner, not bad, but you've got to be careful in that ending. Letting him get that pawn to g5 was a very bad thing to do. You know, after he got the protected passed pawn on h6, you know, he was actually holding on at one point. Okay, Aldisto is next, then Ayeste. Ayeste, can you send me a link on lichess? Because your message to me here on Twitch is too hard for me to get access to. I guess I could type it like... I could type it in like one manually. That's how all the problem started, when I started trying to access my message from Ayeste. Alright, chess 960. I'm not going to play g4. I'm not a believer in the Grob. Doesn't work lichess. What? Ayeste, what do you mean it doesn't work lichess? Don't tell me lichess doesn't work. Wow, he did the Grob. Non-Grob believer against Grob believer. Weakening some squares in the old position there. Try to take advantage of it somehow. Maybe knight e3, maybe queen h5. Looking at the white square weaknesses. For message, okay. That's a setting thing. It must be a setting thing on your end. You tried it now. Shit. Alright. All right. Well, I'll just have to do this myself. All right. Messages. Ayeste. All right. How can I do this now? I'm gonna have to put it in my email, send it to myself. Right. Email. Wait till the game's done. All right. We're looking at the white squares around the area where that g5 pawn moved. Because no pawn will ever be able to protect h5. So I'm thinking that's relevant. You know, we're trying to take advantage of the grob. The weakness of the grob, essentially. That is only one feature in this position, though. I understand. I'm kind of obsessed. All right. E6 covering the f5 square. He can put more pressure easily on my e4 pawn. May have to just play a very solid King's Indian type formation here. I don't know. d4. d4 is considerable, I guess. d4, knight d6. Can I protect e4 enough times? A lot of things could happen after d4, though. All right, right mail. Ayeste, how did you get me into this mess, man? You've got to figure out what's up with your account on lichess, why you can't send messages. You're going to kill me, dude, with this. All right, I'll have to wait till the game is over, and I'll try to send myself an email. This is really slow. All right, we'll play d4. I don't know how I'm going to keep my e4 pawn protected enough times. But d3 just feels too passive to me. Chess 960. This is like... All right. Aldisto is still thinking. Man, Ayeste. It's a good thing you're a subscriber. That is really awkward to have to email myself stuff from back and forth while I'm doing the stream. Alright. Can I get back to where I was now? Damn, dude. Why can't you send messages to me on lichess? Or loser welcome. Oh my god, f5. What? He's sacrificing a pawn. I'm in. Alright. Some kind of... Wow. Positional pawn sacrifice. I guess there's something to be said for just take knight e6, queen d3, or c3. Black's pieces get kind of active that way, though I'm sure it really matters. Maybe b3. What about my poor bishop on a1? What am I going to do with that, you know? Man, that's quite a pawn sacrifice. Redirect the link into a message. That's teamwork. I'll tell you, man. That's why, you know, the end of the world is coming. Because we can't think of things like that fast enough. Yeah, redirect it. Good thinking, Soltigo. It takes brains like that. Alright, man, that's an interesting pawn sack, though. Just a positional pawn sack in chess 960. I mean, there's a few loose points in black's position, like a6 and h7, but I mean, my development is not really, not really kosher, I mean, I have a bishop on a1 and rook on b1 and king. So, castle and king side is not on. Now he played this. Wow. That's like a total shocker. I mean, I don't think queen a6 is it really an existential threat? Yeah, I guess it would be inconvenient, maybe, to allow queen a6. Okay. b3. Very, very... Yes, they put the link there. Well, that doesn't matter, man. You got no message. Okay. Yeah, you can send it to Soltigo. Thank you. Soltigo can send me the message, and then I'll get the link, and that's awesome, man. We're like working together. Anyway, guys, subscribe to stream here. Game analysis and Blitz Classical Chess. Just 31 viewers. Let's try to get it up a little higher. Twitch was down for like 5 minutes, but we're all good now. Thanks, Soltigo, for that. Good idea, man. Thinking on your feet. Well, do we take the pawn? I think so. Intuitively, this is a pawn is a pawn. I still have a couple moves to castle, and I don't really want to play king b2, but queen f6, check, check. Check in bishop b2. We're on the defensive, but I really need to get castled. Watch my rook doesn't hang. Everything of his is protected except for his rook on g8. If only I had a way to fork his king and rook on g8. Oh, we're having fun, aren't we? Yes. Compensazione. Well, I can castle queenside. Touching the rook. That's Aldisto's favorite trick. Like castling queenside when you least expect it. This actually handy dandy defense of my pawn on d4. Now a7, that's h7 to you guys on the other dyslectic front. h7 is just hanging, which actually looks like a reasonable move. I mean, my f-pawn is pretty sick, as it were. But it also might open, open the position too much to let him on the 7th like that. Now he has the time to defend his h7 pawn. So I'm a little passive, but I am up a pawn. I don't really like passive positions, but I'll work with it. So next up, just getting my knight in the game and such. h5, h4. Is that an idea? Or does he want to play g4, giving me a protected pass pawn? Probably not. Alright, let's speed this process up a bit. Basically a blitz game now. Very positionally played by Aldisto. Is it possible to get better at chess by taking a break from it? Gone from 30-40 hours a week to 3-4 hours a week. Yeah, my last 2 hosted simultaneous. Dude, it's very important to take breaks. I had an email from a frustrated student today who was like, oh man, I've hit a wall. I'm not getting better. Soltigo, literally my first piece of advice to him was like, take a break. This is coming from, I played a lot of online poker full time for like 6 years. taking breaks is like, well, in anything you do that's like really intensive, probably one of the best things you can do. Just step away from it. It's literally my first suggestion. I'm about to lose on time. Man, he's damn fast. What a coordination Black's got going on here. I think I could possibly reach like a rook ending up a pawn or something. Some stupid tricks though I'm seeing here. Calculating pretty far. I don't have time to really call out the moves, but I've calculated like 6 or 7 moves ahead. In one variation at least. We just do one variation. Okay, he could have taken, I think, on d4. We'll see after the game, but I think that was a really important line right there for Aldisto to consider. Oh no, he saw it. This is kind of weird. He has a check. Man, he just goes with the flow. Like whatever I do, his pieces are just like pointing like perfectly coordinated. Every move. Leave me alone, man. He will not let me settle in. Check on e2. God, what excellent coordination Black has, seriously. Queen, bishop, rooks. Just keeps messing with me. Always some kind of problem. This is crazy. You have 2 pawns or 1 pawn for the exchange? Only 1 pawn for the exchange. He's got a defense for everything. And then he has like constant threats. There's just this constant threats. Damn, dude. I don't know if that's a good move or not. Probably. My knight is hanging. My god, dude. How does he just keep coming up with these moves? This just loses instantly. Okay, the time control, it messed me up a little bit. 5 plus 5. I'm not used to this large increment of 5 seconds. And, you know, when it comes time to start making excuses, that's going to be like first on my list of excuses here. Another brilliant move by black. King c7, king d6. Playing this like perfectly. Just in time, because like any other move, his king could get in danger. Basically paralyzed. I have no way to attack his king. All right. It's like crazy, dude. He sees everything. Guess I'm lucky to even be alive here. I don't think I was actually threatening anything. I could play king b5 maybe. Oh no, that doesn't work. He's got rook d4. That's insane, dude. Seriously. Oh, he just wins? No, it's not so easy. What an epic game. What is this, like 100 moves? This is like crazy, dude. How can you play so perfectly? Damn. He's totally underrated in Chess 960. He's like 2200 in the other things. Now it's like Zugzwang. I have like no moves. Could have moved my knight, I guess. What is that, like some kind of Zugzwang? Seriously? Damn, dude. That was an amazing game by Black. Like, his technique is unbelievable. Wow. Sacks a pawn for initiative. It's not really sound, but I have to defend perfectly here. He's always got compensation. Damn. That's an insane game, dude. Just initiative, initiative, initiative. I should have played knight e4 there. Man, that's an amazing game. You played awesome, Aldisto. Let's see. Ayesta is next, and then World Loser. I'm gonna share the other study in a minute, Ayeste. But we'll give the other people a chance to do stuff too. You missed pawn b3. That's the kind of move I missed because I see the fork don't calculate. For many years I played online poker full time for like 7 years. But I didn't play cash, just tournaments and sit and goes. But it, you know, when you do something like that really intensively, like chess, it's the same thing. You have to learn to step away from it sometimes. You'll just like drive yourself crazy if you don't. Soltigo's talking about 30, 40 hours of chess. Like that's like a professional. I mean, of course you're gonna get sick of it and just like, you know, underperform. Something different against Ayeste. Mostly they play queen takes, but I thought we could try something else. That was an awesome game by Aldisto, definitely. All right, so I was just looking at a book with something like this exact line, except I think in this old Plugievsky book, they give c4 as white's main line, Ayeste. Now, having seen that, I guess I could play knight f6 here. Does that help me? I was under pressure on the clock the whole game against Aldisto too. If I had more time, I probably would have been able to maintain an advantage, but the time pressure, in addition to him playing pretty well, but I was really particularly impressed by your endgame technique. But the 5-second increment, man, if you didn't have a 5-second increment, I probably could have held, but because it's harder for you to find the good moves, I think. Honestly, you played like flawlessly the end of the game. So c4 is normally played. I guess they're not interested in playing c4 apparently. Not a very ambitious setup for both sides. Yeah, Soltigo, you just can't constantly do something. I mean, your performance is gonna go down. It's just funny that you said that because I was literally just sending a message to one of my students this morning, telling him the exact same thing. Just take a couple days off from it. I mean, it's no wonder you come back. You're like inspired. You're hungry to play again. It's a totally different thing. Now he did c4. So I think I'm supposed to play knight e5 in this position. Okay, this is like if you're playing a really high-rated player and you want to theoretically equalize and balance the game. But honestly, Ayeste is much lower rated than me. I didn't I wouldn't normally want to like just equalize. I have to beat players who are much lower rated. But anyway, it's an unrated casual game. I mean, it's most important that we show you guys what the best moves are. Probably knight e5 is actually I had a game with Grandmaster, what's his name, from a Grandmaster from Belarusia, Kovalev, in May, no, June, the beginning of June in Balaton. I think we had this like exact line or something very similar to it, and he just like took, or did he take? How was it? Oh, maybe he just played like knight c3 here. That doesn't seem right. No, maybe b3. He has to defend. No, he doesn't have to defend the c pawn. Knight takes c4, queen a4 check. So it was a similar position. We had a quick draw. You have to be hungry. Our Thursday stream always this late. Yeah, this is 7. We start at 7 European time, Central European time. I guess this weekend the clocks change, so that's gonna be weird. Queen a4 check. I think I just played queen d7. I mean, black should be fine in the ending. This is not a move that white would normally make if he was interested in playing for a win. Black might even just be better now. After knight f takes, I'm double threatening the c4 pawn. And this is like, how do you protect that? So you trade knights and then you're going to allow me to play knight to d3, winning your bishop. I get an endgame with bishop versus knight, 8 pawns each. Probably not that bad for white, but it's something we can work with. So not very often do you get to get an endgame 8 pawns for both sides, and only one minor piece and the rook's on the board. Stat of mine, I only play live poker now, since I started doing chess basically full time. My only poker is like in my free time. B3. Unfortunately, I spent my whole poker bankroll on other things. That's when you cease to be a professional, I guess. But no, seriously, I spent a long time away from chess, and here we have G6. We can wait. We can wait a move and put my bishop on a good diagonal. But I'm not sure it's even necessary, honestly. He's going to play knight c3 no matter what. I need to think about where to put my king for the endgame. Probably e7 would be like the best square in the structure. We're slightly better. But king d7, you know, maybe I don't take his bishop right away. Just play king d7. He's going to play f4. I mean, g6 is not a bad move, seriously. Alright. The question is about taking that. My plan was to take it and to play this ending with a tiny edge, but I'm not sure that's what I really want to do. What's he going to do? Like, put his bishop on a3? Bishop a3, a6, followed by b5. Looks... Wow, dude. Marginally crazy. I mean, I'm going to play b5 next. Damn. Maybe this was inaccurate. No, I have bishop d4 check. He can't play f4 because of bishop d4 check. Now I have b5. That's just requiring a little bit of calculation, though. b5. Take. Knight takes b5. Well, that doesn't require that much. Let's see. Knight takes d. Actually, his knight is nearly trapped. b5. We need like one more move, really. Take, rook a5. Knight takes d6 check. Holds for white. Take, king d7. And then he has bishop c1. But I've got a massive advantage there. Alright. Thematic. At one point I was +3 winning in exchange. When was that? Oh my god. In the last game they're talking about. So my idea is king d7. Connecting my rooks, threatening various stuff. Almost put my king on the kind of wrong square there. An Aldisto-like pawn sacrifice. It's amazing the knight on d3, how it like stops all the relevant rook moves that would disturb my position. So obviously you can play bishop c1, but then after rook takes a2, I mean, white is getting like brutalized. This is why the king is very important to, you know, consider how you place it for the endgame. Total coordination. Much like Aldisto's later stage position in our game just a minute ago. He had to face the fury from my last loss, right? It's not over yet, but it's unpleasant for white, to say the least. You know, he's still hanging on with knight c3. He's still hanging on. And unfortunately, if rook c2, he's got rook a1, which I don't really want to let him. I don't really want to let him do that. So let's say I have something fancy here. We can't allow rook a1. Just, it would be awkward. So, we've got to keep the a file. Rook a6 or something like that. We just keep the pressure on. We're down a pawn. But Alisto, he's finally succumbing to bishop d4 check. I mean, it's not fatal. It's just, this was like a mouse slip. All right. Well, it's still not that fatal. He only has to lose a pawn, right? Is it some problem? Knight f2 check, king g1. Knight takes e4 check, king h1. Bishop takes c3, d takes c3. Well, I'm copying the engine moves here, but okay, it's 2 pawns down for nothing. Pretty brutal. So, not good. Alright, I'm taking challenges and game analysis from subscribers. We are going to go to, let's see, we did Mule Skinner. We're going to do Soltigo. Soltigo, you're not a subscriber, but you're so committed here as a regular. You're here for every stream. I feel like you're almost a subscriber. What's this? Yeah, this is not Soltigo's game. It's Ayeste's game. I knew there was something weird going on. So Ayeste is white. He played this h3, which is kind of a... World Loser will be happy to see this. It's kind of a trendy variation, h3. I remember like 20 years ago, rook g1. Well, actually, twice rook g1 went through trendy periods. Once like 20 years ago, and then again like 10 years ago. h3, now e5, knight e2. I don't know the theory really well. I just saw some Grandmaster games in these lines. I try to avoid the Najdorf. World Loser is, this is his main opening, so Ayeste could prepare basically if he knew he was playing. When was this? In our arena on Tuesday, g4. This is theory. Okay. It's kind of like the Grob on the king side. I mean, you have some weaknesses, but the score looks good, and the actual like Stockfish evaluation looks good for white. 0.4. Demaro said what? Analyzing the last game. I'm back. I moved on to game analysis from one of our subscribers here. Ayeste, actually, between two of our subscribers, Ayeste and World Loser, from our Tuesday subscriber, actually Tuesday Blitz tournament, Sparkle Horse Arena. So I'm just wondering what else Black can do. Is there any other option? I mean, e5 or e6. It's up to you. How you want to play. I mean, g6, I think there's something to be said for the Dragendorf, honestly. If white's going to play h3, I mean, this is coming from a player, me, who plays the dragon. The Dragendorf has to be viable. I mean, the most dangerous line against the dragon is probably lines involving h4 and English attack, Yugoslav attack type stuff. So, g6 is interesting. You could pretty much do anything for Black. So e5, g4, knight e2 rather. Now h5 is the main line, stopping g4. I can't believe how many games there are. There's 873 games. Damn, dude, that's like every 10th game in Grandmaster practice for the last 5 years. Must be like with h5. Crazy. Bishop e6, more active than bishop e7. Okay, so this is all book. You got Ehsan Gayamagami, but not a lot of other names here. Ahmed Adli. So not a lot of players have stumbled into this position. It looks like a really bad score. I'm not sure what Guyam normally plays. He's a really good player, but this doesn't look great for Black. Black has a bad score. Bishop g2. It's kind of like Alexander Ivanov, my old friend, playing against the against the Najdorf with g3, but he's going g4 straight away. Yeah, you almost want to like leave your king in the center or something. But you don't have to castle right away, Ayesta. I mean, you can go ahead and play like knight g3. I kind of agree with the engine there. I mean, I don't know if you have time to restrict Black with like a4. It is a move, like the engine's second best choice here with a4. Something to consider, playing a4, but you kind of spread yourself pretty thin if you're making weaknesses on the queen side too. This looks okay. Now he allows knight f5. Apparently Black's supposed to play like knight b6 or something to just control the d5 square, and like I guess you can take on f5. What are we gonna do when like Wei plays knight f5? You're gonna play bishop takes f5, right? Oh, that looks kind of ugly though. E takes f5 d5 is the problem. So what would White do after e takes f5 d5? This is pretty tactical. You can actually play bishop e3. What? How does that work? I can't believe this is good for White. Yeah, this looks stupid for White. Maybe a4. Hey Clash Kid, what's up? I saw you challenging in the challenge list earlier today. You were playing like 10 plus 5 or something like that. I almost clicked on your challenge, but it disappeared. So I don't know, guys. Subscriber stream today. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for subscribing, Clash Kid. Yeah, so it looks like World Loser should have addressed knight f5. He played a little fast. He'd only used like 10 seconds to this point. And this is actually a mistake, so you should land that knight on f5, I guess. I mean, that thing is a monster. What is he going to do after that? He can't extricate himself like with playing g6 because he just drops the h6 pawn. This is like a very good... It looks like a very good Perenni attack. Bela Perenni. This just looks really good. What's he going to do? d6 is hanging. It's almost like he's just losing material. He'll have to play b4, knight d5. That's the only line. b4, knight d5. And then I don't know which way to take on d5. Knight takes d5, pawn takes d5. This is hanging. So you have to go back to f8. That's just grotesque. It looks grotesque to have to retreat this bishop back to f8. White has a massive advantage. So I think this was a very serious mistake, Ayesta, not playing knight f5 here. This is a different kettle of fish now. World Loser might be okay. Knight takes, and g6 stopping knight f5. Wasn't mandatory. I guess he could just castle. Weakens himself a bit. Bishop e3, bishop g5. Good positional idea for Black. Normal like positional exchange. You go f4. So you can see the computer likes knight e4. That's another problem with Black's position, that the structural square e4, the structural problem with d6. But I guess it tries to open it up. But you have to take care that you just don't end up like giving knight this black knight this massive outpost on e5, which is like basically the most classic Scheveningen idea in the world. He went right for it. Apparently, like, he should have played queen b6 check. It's hard to see why that's so good though. Just wasn't really a safe place for the black king here. Whoa, did it just say castles queenside? Queen b6 check, castles queenside for black. That's how much the computer hates the black king side. He's actually at a castle queenside. Oh my god. So, I know how hard World Loser is to beat. He's playing so fast, it's disheartening sometimes. But apparently you got too many threats. This was a very reckless move on World Loser's part. The knight is a good defender, but he is hanging the d6 pawn, so I don't know what to suggest here. Looks like black is probably like on the verge of lost. This was passive. You could have played queen d4. The best he could do is trade queens and lose a pawn, probably. So this was a blunder. Blunder and counter blunder. World Loser got greedy with 93. He just contents himself with bishop takes d5, threatening bishop takes e4, and picking off the rook. Black is still alive. Wow. Okay, well, I mean, queen b2 was really devastating. Then I guess king g8, and then rook takes d6, and then knight f6 check. It's just like a face plant. Oh man, that's horrifying. You're basically doing the same thing here now. So, game over. Overall good though. I think it's interesting this line that you played, Ayesta. H3 and G4, so you caught World Loser kind of napping there. I think that black needs to be pretty up to date on these variations. Looks like he should play H5, or maybe the early H5, or as I said, you might even play a Dragendorf against. I don't see how H3 is a good move in a dragon. Basically, you know, what dragon line does H3 fit in? Sometimes maybe in the Fianchetto or something. Like it's not really a normal move against the dragon. So naturally G6 should be a decent way to play. All right, that's it for analysis for now. We're streaming for, what are we streaming for? Another 2 hours, man. It's still early here. All right, ever since the Twitch crashed, it just felt like, I don't know, time stopped or something. So knight e8 check, game over. World Loser Clash Kid. You have a club game against a 72-year-old CM tomorrow. 72. It all depends. There's all different 72-year-olds. Some of them are in much better condition than others. I don't know how I'm going to be. Hopefully I'm still alive when I'm 72. That's all I can ask for. Alright, so we're playing World Loser. Good luck, man. 5 plus 4. What's with the weird increment? The generously weird increment. What are we going to play? I'm a little tired. I made another video today for thechessworld.com. I'm working on a series on the Blumenfeld Gambit. I really put a lot of time into this part I did today. It just really drains me, like working for hours continuously. Okay, bishop g2. He's going Grunfeld. Normally a Slav player for the most part, World Loser. Let's well, he could play d4 if I play c4. Let's just castle. Tried to survive. What? I tried to survive as long as possible until he falls asleep. Tried to survive. I've played a lot of players around that age. Not a lot, but quite a few. And again, it like really depends. But I was talking about this earlier. I'd like to play a tournament. You know, I'd like to play tournaments where all my opponents are like old people. I'm middle-aged, but the thing is, more and more chess players are, you know, the average age of chess players in tournaments is getting like younger and younger all the time. That's why when I went to Zalakaros, although I'm like technically middle-aged, there was almost no middle-aged players at the tournament. Basically, you're either like a little kid or you're like a pensioner. You know, there's nothing in between. Like, even like the professional grandmasters are like not playing in a lot of these tournaments because there's just not enough prizes and stuff. So I just ended up playing 9 people who were like 10 years or or 20 years younger than me. That's crazy, you know? Made me feel really old. Alright, well, loser, well, we're still in book here. But sometimes I'll play these old guys in these club games. You know, I like to play older players. They've been beaten enough, they learn to accept it. What's Feingold style? Is that what Feingold does? Like, try to play old players? What are you talking about? What is Feingold style? I'm not going to make any Feingold jokes. I have nothing against Ben. Yeah, this is my game with Ed Formanek from like 1990. Fischer played bishop f5. But I was only familiar with like all the Kasparov-Karpov games where, you know, Kasparov never played. As far as I know, Kasparov didn't play bishop f5. I'm not really sure like what you're supposed to do, to be honest. This isn't technically part of my current repertoire. I guess it should be, though. Okay. It's kind of hard to avoid. I don't know what I would do otherwise. I mentioned this before, but he's just doing symmetry. I hate when like the symmetry is like ridiculous like this. There was once this guy on my stream who he continued the symmetry to like move 30. I was starting to get kind of annoyed with it. We just make moves and then react when something happens. There was this guy who was like, this was like, I don't know, last year. He was doing it on purpose. Just to be annoying or something. Now, I guess we take with the pawn, huh? I can't say I really had a plan going forward into this position, but now that I look at it, I mean, the normal positional approach is like bishop takes, but here, I think this is necessary. We've got long distance pressure on the diagonal. The d5 pawn is hanging. So white probably has some kind of microscopic advantage here. It feels like I'm playing the Slav exchange variation. It's so gross. I did notice though that a lot of players, let's see, knight c3. How did this go? Knight c3, knight c6. Oh, I exchanged. Well, instead of exchanging on d5, a lot of players play queen b3. Maybe that's something worth considering, although when I looked at that, it doesn't seem to offer much advantage either. Here my first plan was queen d4. I guess queen d2 should be considered as well. Queen d4 protects the e5 pawn, potentially letting me move my bishop again. I don't know if that's good or not. I mean, the other move, queen d2, it discourages queen b6. g5 was not in my radar, man. That weakens your king side, but it's actually not a bad move. Bishop e3 or bishop d2 is hard to call now. Which is better? Really hard to decide. Man, we're a loser. An absolute maniac. g5. But with the possibility of playing bishop g6, g5 isn't so weakening as this kind of move would normally be really weakening to his king side. But since he can tuck the bishop back on g6, it's not unreasonable. Maybe bishop e3 was better. Of course, I always automatically do the wrong thing when I'm given like two options. Other possibility here is e3. I couldn't improve my FIDE Elo in the last 12 months either because I played too many little kids in Zalakaros and lost like 10 rating points, handing out Elo points like candy. Trick-or-treaters for Elo points. World Loser, I did not anticipate you going for a trade of queens here. Man, now my e5 pawn is just too important. I cannot afford to lose that. Just instantly took. I'm not really sure. Maybe I should take with the bishop. Looks like a strange move though. Leaving my pawn structure messed up. It's weird how World Loser delayed that capture. I was just banking on this move, Rook b3, to hold everything together. I don't feel like I really deserve an advantage. Anyway, this variation I think is like always a draw. Probably. Objectively, it's really hard to get an edge in the Fianchetto Grunfeld if black plays well. Karpov put on some good games against Kamsky back in like whenever their match was in '99. He also had great games against Kasparov with g3. But there are other ways to play the black side of the Grunfeld that I think would even maybe suit World Loser better. You know, setups with d5, and the move order is relevant though. You know, he's playing like Slav move order. Thank you guys for tuning in. International Master Willam Paschall. This is a stream I do on Thursdays just for my subscribers. Anyone else who's not a subscriber is welcome to watch, you know, even comment in the Twitch chat. But I'm playing primarily and analyzing games with my subscribers. Tomorrow morning I'm going to be doing an open stream where everyone's welcome to play. 10 a.m. Friday morning. I know about f6, World Loser. I was worried about that. We're going to keep you contained. And this lateral rook, man, this rook is... My friend Joe Fang is, you know, Chinese by heritage, and he calls it the river guarding rook. It's some kind of Chinese thing. But we could enter the position with both rooks in devastating fashion here if black were careless. Going pawn hunting, for example. Bishop takes e2. We've got a lot of possibilities. Man, everything's possible. Bishop h3. I don't really like that in a way, but rook on the 7th. Rook on the 7th, he just trades it off. I could also play e4. But I don't know, that's getting kind of scary. Really don't know what to do. I don't want to be passive. Rook, bishop h3, trading. And he's just continuously attacking things. e3. I don't know, I'm just going to lose on time. There's some tricks. That defends my d4 bishop from things like rook a4, which was really freaking me out. But e3 was probably a stupid move, to put it mildly. Damn it. All right. try to get some threats against him. I really screwed this up. Did I have rook f4 last move? An unusual passive defense from World Loser. That was not what I expected. Do I have nothing here? I thought maybe rook takes e5. Damn, dude. I guess I could take there, theoretically. Seems like with a good rook, I should be okay here. Maybe I should play king f5. Staying in touch with his h-pawn. Can I win with e4? Probably not. Alright, man, looks like a draw. So you were winning, no doubt. No doubt, dude. It got really bad at one point there. I was really lost. Damn. Prior to the single rook exchange, this was where, well, maybe it wasn't so easy. I thought I was toast. Let's see what the engine says here. It says I was winning with rook c7. Crap. But you missed rook takes h4 before, World Loser. It was just hanging. I mean, this was a big blunder. When I played h4, you played rook h5, I played here. Or at least I thought it was. I thought you could take on h4. Here. But apparently it's not working. Wow, I thought you had this. I didn't see I had king f2. Wow, apparently I played like a genius. Damn, dude. Neither of us was like... I was winning maybe at one point. You weren't winning. That's crazy, dude. I thought you were totally winning. Damn. Wow, man. Good game. That's misconception. I really thought I was in trouble. I was like lost. My first comment after the game was I was lost. Apparently not. Fortunate. Aldisto and World Loser have sent in games. Aldisto, this is 8 minutes ago. World Loser sent me a game 18 minutes ago. Let's check that out. We've got time. Yeah, nice game, man. Apparently I was winning, but I was in bad time pressure. I still didn't see my win. This is World Loser. It's a revenge. These guys are getting personal now. It's World Loser's revenge against Ayeste. World Loser is white. You guys are funny. Ambient Nerd. Well, normally we're not doing a lot of game analysis. Like, I'm doing this for the viewers on Thursday, my subscribers. But thanks, Ambient Nerd. I mean, you're not going to find a lot of streams where, you know, reasonably strong players analyze slow games on Twitch and lichess and stuff. So, World Loser and Ayeste didn't have a lot of Senapon loss in this one. At the end, it looks like it gets rather messy. Let's see what happens in reality, though. F3. Nad Hideshi against Noman Erdane. Okay, these kids are in Hungary. Noman Erdane is you see that game there, the first one on the list? It's a Mongolian girl who beat me twice in rapid chess, and once was because like her rating was 2000. I thought she was like a Patzer, and I played e4 knight h6 against her in the rapid tournament and lost. And then I figured out she was good, so I I played like a real opening the second tab, and she actually beat me that as well. So, but the Nad Hideshi, Simon Williams. I was thinking, like, who the heck plays f3? This Nad Hideshi guy, I don't know much about him. He's like a Transylvanian, Hungarian, I think. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure. e6, another Transylvanian. No, Peter Biro. Peter. I don't know who's Biro Peter. Another. They're just all Hungarians. What is this? It's not enough to be Hungarian. You have to be good too. That's what they said in Hollywood. For those of you who don't know, I stream from Budapest, Hungary. So we're making inside Hungarian jokes. All the games are like played in Hungary. We have a lot of tournaments here. People are always asking, why did you move to Hungary? Guys, look in the database. Like half the games are like played in Hungary. So interesting line, World Loser. This reminds me of the Nimzo Indian. Now it could be a transposition after bishop b4. Probably bishop c5 is an even better move here for Ayeste, though. Both are playable, but I think bishop c5 is even stronger, cutting off the diagonal from castling. With bishop b4, I think Ayeste is actually transposing to a Georgiou variation of the Nimzo Indian, which is like 4f3. So oddly, by the strangest order of moves ever, although the move c6 is a Slav, it's actually a useful move here. So very weird way to get into a Nimzo Indian here on move what is it, move 7. Not too often you see the Nimzo Indian play with bishop bishop developing on move 7. Queen d3. World Loser getting creative, and I like this game. This is crazy. This looks like this looks like a bluff, basically. So we bluffed with bishop g4, not a good move. White could just take on e5. Queen h4 check g3 is covered by the queen on d3. So I guess it's just nothing. Ayeste getting too frisky. Should just take care of development. Maybe knight h5 was the first problem. You know, you're just asking too much from the position. But I think that realistically this is a better move. That creates serious problems for white. You know, how does he... You know, what's he going to do? Castle queenside? He'll probably have to think about it. It's awkward for white to complete the development after that. Bishop b4 is not such a big deal. You know, you can see he can deal with this. So a little too aggressive from Ayesta. And then a weird move, bishop g5. Apparently there was a tactic there, though it's always awkward to do that. Now he takes e5, like both pieces are hanging. This was a blitz game played in our Sparkle Horse Arena on Tuesday. So the position is now balanced, according to the computer. Ayesta played very energetically, but not, you know, it wasn't like optimal. World Loser creative. World Loser is usually playing very fast, trying to put pressure on the opponent. He's got 4 minutes here, black with 2. He doesn't have an advantage, but he has a massive, almost 2-to-1 advantage on the clock, which means a little bit in 5+2. You know, if it was sudden death, it would mean a lot, and in 5+2, it means a little bit. But I like black a little bit better here with the doubled pawns. I think black stands a little bit better. This was a good move. You don't want to end up in like bad bishop versus knight, and World Loser trades bishop for bishop. So now there's the funky pawn structure, but it looks like both sides have reasonable chances here. It's probably equal. And then Ayesta undoubles white's pawns. That looks suspicious. You know, the kind of move you make when you have 33 seconds left and the opponent has 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Taking on he doesn't really want to make this exchange, because when he does that, you know, he loses control of d5, he undoubles white's pawns. You know, so he needed to find good moves, but he didn't have enough time. And then it looks like World Loser pushed him over. He took back with the e-pawn here. It's actually the better move according to the engine. You know, it seems more natural to take the other way, but I guess the e4 pawn will be hanging later on. It's kind of weird. This pawn is like a liability to frontal attack, so World Loser just keeps the pawns like compact. Actually, that's a good move. Fork and counter fork, and then it was just over. World Loser missed c5. Ouch. Immediately playing too quickly. And then he blundered. Mate. Okay. Got your revenge, World Loser. For Ayesta sending in the other game. Guys, we've got another hour of subscriber stream left. Let's see. Clash Kid. Killing Knight. I'm not going to accept outside challenges from the subscribers unless we get a new subscription, or we run out of other players to play and games to analyze. Aldisto is next. Actually, let's do the game. Let's mix it up. You know, do one game and then do a game analysis. It'll be more fun that way. So we'll play Clash Kid, 7+5. I know Clash Kid doesn't really like fast blitz, but he'll play sometimes 7+5, 8+3. Although I'm following Sledgy yet 1.5 years, we still don't have an e4 or e5 game. That's funny. I never realized that. So we put an end to that streak now. I try to mix up my openings against different players. Mostly I play the Sicilian, sometimes the Caro-Kann, sometimes Modern Defense, and then Scandinavian sometimes. And then in the more rare instances, things like the e4, e5, and St. George Defense. Killing Knight is my follower. But a subscriber on Twitch or not is the question. Clash Kid, are you sure we've never had an e4, e5 game? He's like, we've never had an e4, e5 game as he unleashes knight c3. Gotta hate the 4 knights. I like to play this because it avoids the 4 knights. But it's the problem with this. It is. Check for GBRL. Okay. Dude, you're on Twitch, GBRL. If you're a subscriber, it shows that you're a subscriber. I don't mean follower on lichess. We're talking about subscribers on Twitch. I know that we've got a lot of followers on lichess, but that's a different thing. We're just talking about subscribers on Twitch. So this reminds me of the time that Vita Levente, when he was like in a state of shock, when I played knight f6, e5, and knight f6 against him. He played d3 against me and won. I was like, I played like such an idiot. Can't believe I lost to that. It's like embarrassing. Aldisto, you sent you our 960 game. I don't mind to look it over, dude. I mean, it's kind of fun. It's basically a Steinitz Lopez with colors reversed now, which is kind of cool. I like playing this line with black. With white, I'd probably not go for the queen takes d4 type of stuff, but something more subtle with like c3 and d4. Now, theoretically, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here. I mean, it's tempting to want to keep the bishop on the board, but it feels like this is the right thing to do, you know, to give it up. Now, white can take either with the bishop or with the pawn. I had a blitz game against a really low-rated player about 4 or 5 months ago where he got this outrageous trick on me. I lost my e5 pawn, some kind of tactics. I think he went like queen d2, queen g5, and ended up doing this really strange maneuver and then catching me in a tactic where he won my e5 pawn. I had to grovel for a draw in a blitz game here against the guy who was like 600 points lower rated. I was like, damn, I managed to get a draw. I'm going to remove the sub and sub again. That's weird, GBRL com. It is Kime. Remove the sub and sub again, but if you sub on Twitch, you have like a different account and you lost it or something? Gabriel, you have another account and you like lost your password or something? Were you subscribed? Wait to play. I'm trying to make 2 moves in a row. Love to see some slave. You're into the slaves, huh? Slav. Slavish. Bishop e2. I'm not going to go crazy and castle queenside with the black pieces. I just want to develop. But okay, so there's tactics with like bishop g4. If white had played b takes c, I think that b6 would be a really good setup for black. But here, the bishop has a good diagonal. I guess it's probably a little bit too much to go like b6 bishop. It's not necessary to play like b6 bishop b7. White's basic plan would be playing solidly here. And I don't have a lot of dynamism. I have solid control of the center. Gabriel, can you just tell me the name of your subscriber account on Twitch? I can't check it, you know, I don't have like a list printed out. I have to like ask for an email of my subscribers on Twitch. I don't think I can just check it. Alright. Well, I'll take your word for it. Castles. I don't know what to do. You know, like bishop f5, bishop g4. I guess bishop g4. It's really counterintuitive because this is a bad bishop. And normally I have more space here and I don't want to trade pieces. I don't know. Maybe I just feel like my position doesn't really have a lot of depth to it. I'm just equalizing, but I don't really have a lot to play for a win unless white makes some mistakes. I guess I should just centralize my rooks on e8 and d8 and just hope that white makes some errors, you know. But I can't really do anything except just increase my space advantage, try to avoid exchanging pieces. The other squares to the bishop, though, aren't great. Like f5. I'm kind of concerned about him playing knight d2. Bishop f3 and his bishop turning into a really strong piece on f3, for example. Maybe you just didn't renew it. Yeah, that's the problem. You need to renew. It's only good for a month. I don't think it automatically renews. So h3 from Clash Kid. I'm kind of happy to see that, though. I mean, he does slightly weaken his position. We've got to watch for tactics based on knight takes e5. See, now we have to calculate bishop h5, knight takes e5. Bishop takes e2, queen takes e2. Knight takes e5, I lose a pawn. This is what I'm talking about. I've got to be very careful here. That's what I'm talking about, losing a pawn. So bishop h5, knight takes e5. I mean, I don't do like 300 tactics problems a day. I have to think about this a little bit. But there isn't a lot to do. Like bishop takes e2, queen takes e2, rook a e8, f4, and it's like, damn, dude, I'm just down a pawn. So I guess I gave him a free move there, basically. I just gave him h3 for free. Is it a good move or is it a bad move? And it's probably not a bad move. It's a slight weakening, but it's also useful. Black doesn't get mated. He gets another square for his knight to move. Like Lasker and Capablanca would do that in Steinitz-Lopez type positions. Sometimes maneuvering the knight to h2. This little cubby hole here is a slight weakness, but it's probably not really a bad thing. I should probably consider h6 myself right about now, giving my bishop a retreat square too. Copycat style, going back to h7. Position is apparently equal. On the surface, black looks better because of the space advantage, but the bishop on c3, it's a superior piece, you know, to a knight, I think. Yes, this is the problem. Now I have to be careful. If I let him play bishop f3, man, Clash Kid, I'm telling you, we played this before, dude. You may deny it, but I strongly suspect we did play e4-5 before. You know, I took you at your word there, but I'm having some idea here that you actually subconsciously lied about this. I think you did this before against me. I'm pretty sure, man. Not that many people play like 3 knight c3, and I don't play the Petrov that often, so it's a pretty good chance I might remember. I think we had this once before, way back, like 6 months ago. Now I have to stop bishop f3. Now I hope I'm not like losing or something here. What a crazy sort of situation. He could play bishop f3, knight takes f3, queen takes f3. And it's like there's no way no way to defend my stuff. Like, oh my goodness. That's weird. This move not as challenging, although also my e5 pawn. My e5 pawn becomes a problem. But I mean, seriously, like, is this just good for white? Oh no, no, there's nothing I can do. I'm telling you, man, bishop f3 is a kick-ass move. I might be able to play queen b5, but that looks really awkward. I'm about to lose on time. Alright. He's got knight e3, potentially. White is so solid, though. Who plays this stuff for white? You're playing the reverse queens. Sorry, Roy Lopez or Spanish game. Knight e3. Now we've got to decide. Queen d7. Knight takes e2 check is like nothing for me again. Probably best. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. Knight takes e2 check. Queen takes e2, queen d7, knight takes f5, queen takes f5. He's just putting a lot of pressure on my e5 pawn. I don't think he could take it there, but yeah, I guess that's as good as anything. Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes f5, queen takes. That leaves him with equality. Okay, I'm going to run out of time, so I see a line where I have equality, but I don't see better than that. Guys are too tough. Okay, this was a personal request to play the black side of the Petra, or to play e4, e5. I'm not really playing e5 that often for a win. I mean, we always want to win, right? But okay, knight takes e2, queen takes e2. Well, you could do rook takes e2. Good thing I didn't calculate that. Rook takes e2 might have been dangerous with the idea of queen e1 and a battery with a rook in front, which is harder for me to deal with. But anyway, white is still very solid here. Black has equality at best case scenario. Bishop takes e5, knight d7. I hope I didn't miscalculate something. It's been known to happen. You know, the idea is knight d7 and then I just pin it and win it with f6. So hopefully he doesn't have sort of tricks that I didn't see. So GBR.com, yeah, we would love to have a new subscription during our subscriber stream. This is like a very committal move, dude. Wow. Alright, well, Aldisto would love this pawn sacrifice, I think. At the very least, I have compensation for the pawn. Knight d7 and f6. He has weakened his kingside slightly. It looks like queen f3 was a safe move there. I think this was a slightly bad move, but only slightly bad. There's an ambulance on the way for you, so don't worry. Knight d5. f3 was not what I was afraid of. Queen b6 check, grabbing pawns. Clash Kid actually taking me out here on time. I don't really know what to do. He's got 2 minutes more than me. Damn. Battle of knight versus bishop. But his king side has gotten a little bit weakened. And that's not something he had to do. It's an optional. It's an optional weakening of the king side. Knight f4. Unfortunately, I blocked my queen's lateral mobility to b6, which would have been nice. But I don't know if I can really attack him here. Alright. Damn. Time is a real problem. I did not get that much out of this. I'm not even better probably anymore. I think for a moment there I was better, but the flag was about to fall. And I made this lame move. f6 and queen f7. Recirculating my queen. Looks like white should be okay. He probably has, he has to calculate f4. King f2 is a nutty move. That looks really insane, to bring your king out to f2. I could see it with less pieces on the board. You know, with like one less piece on the board, maybe two less pieces on the board, but it's a little early to be bringing the queen out. The king, that's a king, right? Too early to bring out the king, I believe. I would go back to a sensible location near you. There's nothing I could do immediately, but something bad will happen to the white king eventually. If it just stays on f2, I think it's too exposed. My king is just chilling here on g8 on a white square where nobody can hurt him. 14 seconds left. Queen g2. I'm playing too hesitantly again with c6, but I see my time ticking. I don't really like putting pawns on the dark squares when I have a knight against dark squared bishop either. So c5 was tempting to just land this like space advantage, probably good, but he's like lining up this thing again. Alright, no time. If I play queen d6, I'll probably walk into like d4. He might have f4 finally. I don't know though. I have knight takes. Nope. Pawn takes. There it is. He's got this move. He's got this. I win a pawn. Or do I? Why do I think I win a pawn here? Queen and knight combination is famed and deadly. Looks like I have knight b4, but damn. g5. Well, that's bizarre. This is going to leave him in a weird spot. I probably just weakened my own king by doing this, though. I feel like this is just a cheapo for me. Oh. Man, now he's threatening. I don't want to play this ending anymore. Man, I've got to be careful. I think that king and pawn ending was probably better for white. I nearly traded down into it. Man, my king is a little bit questionable. After check, king f7. King and pawn endgame? His king gets to the center too fast. I don't really want that. Man, but now he's letting me play knight f4. Shit. Still no way to make progress. Damn. I don't know what I'm doing. Improving my king position. I was talking about don't bring your king out too early, but it's always different when there's like 2 pieces left. It seems like a good time to start bringing out the king actively. All right, now it's gonna get kind of hairy. I have no idea. Took with the king, allowing mate in 1. Alright. Your first and last blunder for the game. Damn, dude. I want to see the analysis board here, because I don't think that anybody was ever winning until the last move. We'll take the 1 move blunder. At least I won't lose. I want to see the analysis engine. You saw, oh, okay. What? To the right of the heart. We don't have a subscription yet. We're hoping for a subscription today. It is our subscriber stream. Anyway, like overall, good game by Clash Kid. He made me defend the whole game, more or less. So, I think if you take with the queen, you're even fine there at the end. Back and forth, it was pretty much balanced the whole way. We get lucky with a 1 move blunder. All right. Apparently he was seriously better early on. Wow, what did I miss something? Damn, dude, it says you have knight h4 here. And you just pick off my c6 knight. Oh, man. So h6 was like a massive mistake. Damn. Bishop f3, and you're just eating the knight and winning my e5 pawn. This was horrifying. h6 was just bad. So I have to reinforce my e5 pawn. Something like rook e8. Why didn't you have that move, the move before? Oh, because your rook wasn't on e1. Instead of h3, you should play rook e1 right away, maybe. Well, then again, how would you get my bishop to go to f5? Okay, h3, bishop f5, then rook e1. There's a game Todor Savage versus Morovich from '92. Rook e1. This was game, right? I played h6. So this is a serious blunder. You had the biggest advantage of the game, winning a pawn after h6. This is not a line I know very well. It's not something you encounter very often. GRSA, man. Magnus Carlsen. Well, the only thing is GRSA, we don't want chess, lichess to become overly commercial. So I just hope that Magnus Carlsen, if he does ever visit lichess, he doesn't turn it into an overly commercial site. So anyways, we are continuing here our subscriber stream. Trouts, Killing Knight. I'm waiting on Killing Knight because he said he was going to subscribe. Clash Kid, don't be so hard on yourself. I think your blitz skills were good. You were like 2 minutes ahead of me. Maybe the pressure situation. It's more about, kind of like nerves and stuff, but anybody can make a one-move blunder. I mean, you hung there pretty well. I almost lost on time like 3 different occasions. Trouts. What's up, man? We're going to play e4 against Trouts or d4? I think d4. I want to take Trouts on in his favored queen pawn territory. And then the key move order with Trouts, I think, is knight f3 on move 2. Let's see if we can get him to play d5. I think he plays the Grunfeld normally, but sometimes you can trick him into playing the Queen's Gambit. He's not biting. No Queen's Gambit. Let's see. We could try, what else can we try? We could try to play like knight c3. It's taking too long. Sorry, man. It's not taking too long. We still have the best part of an hour left in my stream. What am I talking about? It's not our 3-hour stream. It's a 2.5-hour stream. Well, we have half an hour left anyway. I'll stream an extra 10 minutes for the hell of it. Normally I'm stopping at 9:30. I started to think it was a 3-hour stream. All my streams are 2.5 hours unless it's my simul. Yeah, that's why I'm crazy. Trouts found d5. Yeah, I'm trying to get a Grunfeld player to not play d5, or what am I thinking? This is not the London system. It's recommended in a book I have here. I think it's this book. This is a really good book. I think it's out of publication. It's called The Soviet Chess Conveyor. It's by Shereshevsky, who's a really famous Belarusian trainer, and he basically like shows all his systems. It's an old book, it's not new. It's like everything else I know. It's old. Oldie but a goodie. Queen d2. There was a game like in 1990 something where Satovsky played Kasparov in this line, and he drew, which is a good sign. Like if you can hold Kasparov to a draw, the variation is not bad. Actually, Ayesta, one of our players who we were playing and analyzing here with, Ayesta, you played this system, right? But there are different versions. Like Mark Hebden does this crazy thing where he like plays e3 and, instead of queen d2, Hebden will do a different thing, e3 and like h4, h5. It's called the Barry attack. English Grandmaster Mark Hebden, who's a kind of casual friend of mine. We just hang out and drink beers whenever I go to England, which is very rare, like every 10 years or so. We like to talk trash and drink beers and play some blitz. You should do a 24-hour stream like all the youngin streamers do. Not good for my health. A drunk stream of 24 hours of binge drinking. No. I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see what the future holds. Unfortunately, too many other responsibilities at the moment, but who knows what happens in the future. So Trouts with c6. This is a common move. Let's see, Gary played, I'm thinking, I want to say he played knight e4. Knight e4, knight takes e4, d takes e4, knight e5, f6, knight c4. I think that's Gary's game with Satovsky. But I've played c6 myself. It seems like a solid option. I don't really have many games. I had a handful of games I played with white in this line, but I don't think it's really dangerous for black, you know, seriously. Here, I don't know, am I supposed to play like bishop h6, or does this like waste too much time? Well, this is opening Jabava and Rapport does, yeah, Rapport loves putting his knight on c3. And Jabava, okay, Jabava likes to do weird stuff too. But Rapport will play like freaking one knight c3, you know? I mean, he just likes putting his knight on c3. This is a known line though. Bishop h6, I'm not sure about if it's a good move or not. I don't know. It might not be. I'm pretty sure that black is okay in all lines, but I don't know what the best move is, honestly. Maybe it's playable. I think that maybe Ayesta did this against me when he was white, as a matter of fact. I would have probably taken on h6 and played something aggressive like queen a5. I think Ayesta and I might have had that exact game, where I like took on h6, didn't castle, and played queen a5. Yeah, Rapport is creative and Yobava too, and they both play some really crazy stuff. Definitely Mahmoud, you're right. And they both play this type of setup sometimes. Yeah, Jabava plays the proper, you know, I guess they both do like d4, d5, knight c3. That's probably like how Rapport normally gets there. And Yobava, when he's not playing 1b3, is often playing like d4, d5, knight c3, or d4, knight f6, knight c3. Yeah. They're avoiding like mainstream theory, getting their creative positions where they can just mess people up. Batu says, hi from Turkey. Protagon. What percentage of all your tournament games end with a post-mortem? Mind games, mind games. My post-mortems, it has to be someone I kind of feel sympathy toward or like, usually, which is not that common. I also have to be like not tired and just kind of be in the mood. I would say like 25% of my games, maybe less. In more serious tournaments, it would be more likely. Like in round robins or something, it's much more likely. If it was like a round robin, not like a Swiss system where you're just playing random people, a round robin where you're like playing the same, you know, 10 guys, 9 games in a row with amongst yourselves, I would have many more postmortems. Like the percentage would go up way higher, you know. But if I'm just playing like random people in a Swiss system, it would be much less likely. I think, you know, if it's a strong tournament, it's more likely. There are people like John Watson who just like, they play chess to have postmortems. John Watson like doesn't care about the game. He just wants the game to be over so he can like outplay you in the postmortem. Occasionally I find these players who like arguing and like winning the battle of the postmortem. I'm really quiet in postmortem. I mean, I don't like fight with people and try to insist that I'm winning. I just kind of let them think what they want to think, and I don't care, you know. I like to see their ideas and stuff, but I'm pretty quiet like in postmortem sessions. I don't play as aggressive as that. Well, yeah, I mean, no. Those guys are maniacs, man. I mean, I think that Rapport is naturally like, you know, capable of playing very normal chess. I was mentioning this like last week, but it seems like he's forcing it too much to try to play like a maniac. When he's just chill out and play his normal game, he'll probably do a little bit better. But I wouldn't want him on, you know, if I was like running the Hungarian Olympic team, I don't want the dude playing board 1 again, you know, that's for sure. Because he was just like losing to everybody. he's totally unpredictable. I mean, 1 minute he'll like lose to like a 1900, and the next minute he'll like beat like Magnus Carlsen, you know. So if you play in a team tournament, like you want a solid, like kind of reliable player on board one, and Rapport is not that. Strong he is, and creative and interesting he is, but solid is not a word. I'm you know, I can be solid. I can also play crazy and wild, but I mean, especially when I play on the stream, I try to play like really correctly. You know, I can play like a maniac too in blitz and stuff if I make a conscious effort to do it. What does a postmortem mean in chess? After the game, after a tournament game, players will typically, oftentimes, you know, take the chess pieces and go analyze the game outside the tournament hall somewhere together, you know. And that's what a post-mortem is. It's nothing to do with an autopsy. It's a chess autopsy of the game. So we're basically, we're not playing like Rapport. We're playing something like Karl Schlechter here with bishop d3. Karl Schlechter, the Austrian-Hungarian chess genius. Well, he was actually Austrian, but it was the Austro-Hungarian Empire, right? In the early part of the 20th centuries. I would take back with the pawn on d3, by the way, like bishop takes d3, pawn takes d3, Schlechter style. Now we've got the makings of a Rapport type of attack, I think, just starting to kind of form. Stonewall attack type of stuff. Knight on c3, not really well placed. That guy usually has to like redeploy back to e2 later on. Maybe migrate over to the king side. But I don't like what Trouts did here. He wasted time. He should either take on d3 or let me take on f5, but moving the bishop again to g4 is really bad. I just explained Soltiga. Alright. What would Rapport do? Not relevant. Alright, I'm migrating. That's something Rapport might have done. I could also play f3. Might be a little more accurate to play like f3, but then again, I wouldn't be able to play f4 now. Do I want to play f4 now? Stonewall attack was mentioned a minute ago. I think it's reasonable here. It's basically a stonewall attack with my knight on a weird square going over to e2. Queen on a weird square. But the makings of a kind of stonewall attack on the king side are there. Trouts is basically just getting into time pressure. This is the only downside of the thing, the fact that he can do this. So, one of those positions where, you know, it's like his bishop is kind of bad, but it's also not that bad. So, it's not like it's that easy to say like, oh, well, he has a bad bishop, I have a good knight, I'm winning. I've misjudged these kind of positions before in the past and like just assumed I was better, but I don't think that's necessarily the case here. I might have even made a mistake. As I said earlier, maybe playing f3 at some point would have made more sense. But now I'm here and we can't, you know, change the past, so maybe even c4. Nope, that loses a pawn. I don't want to play something stupid here. g4, castle's queenside is bishop takes a2. It's possible. Castle queenside, risky. You know, that's really Rapport. Rapport style. Castle queenside. Knight versus bad bishop. He could do like bishop g4. Knight takes e5 and bishop g4 to trade pieces. White's just a tiny bit better. Yeah, f5. That's why I didn't play knight g3, because of f5, and my knight gets shut down. You know, so this way I can break on the king side with like g4, possibly. Trouts is doing a good job hanging on here. G4. I'm not even sure if I have it actually. Black might not be worse at all here. And now my king is in a kind of vulnerable position. I'm going to play this as some sort of pawn sacrifice. Perhaps. Perhaps. It's a cake song. Boston Crab. Alright, I don't want to trade queens. He's not taking my pawn on A2. I can't imagine why. Yeah, dude. Unfortunately, B3 weakens my position, but I may have the other option of doing knight C3 though is interesting. My knight is on a path to hell there. So B3. Well, I'm threatening knight to F4 now. We're also threatening like the devastating C4 D5 with rolling central pawns. So A5, we have a choice. There it is. The aforementioned A5. Alright, man, I'm just going with the central pawns. We're going to put our queen on the diagonal. Threaten very bad things. We can just do D5 straight away. Oh my god. My king's a little sketchy, but this looks really dubious for black. Damn. Still, it's not a knockout. There is no knockout. Ooh, queen D4 looks kind of brutal. I could play E6. Trouts' time pressure not making life easy here. It's even tempting. I can't go to D2. Shit. Okay, B1. Oh man, the C file. The C file has been called. Now we've got E6 at any moment. He might even, well, E6 pretty ugly for black here. I'm trying to just kill him. But I have no forced win immediately. Wow, G5. That's pretty nuts. Damn. G5. I gotta believe. You gotta believe. Just no hesitation. The instant king G6. Oh man. E6, king takes H5, queen G7, and I don't have a mate. Oh no, my D5 pawn's hanging. Wait. Everything's hanging. You're kidding me. Oh no, Trouts, you're not allowed to beat me. I have to do E6. But E6 makes sense, right? Does this make sense? It's just taking material at will. Don't I have anything here? Damn, dude. You took on G4. That would be your downfall. Trouts is like winning. Oh my god. Now he's gonna get mated. This has gotta be... Well, I'm just winning his queen. Damn, dude. I feel kind of bad for him. If he had just played king h4, I think I was out of checks. It was actually a really good defense by black. Nice game, dude. Alright. That's it for challenges. No other subscribers. We have trolls. Mod me, I'll time out the trolls. Who's the troll? What trolls? I don't see any trolls, man. What are you talking about? Nice king hunt. What, Mahmoud? Why you play Saboring? Yeah, that's nice, Mahmoud. Thank you. Yeah, he's just being rude. I mean, it's not really a troll. He's just kind of like insensitive. If he continued to do it. He's comparing me to Rapport. Alright, guys. Norwegicus. I have time for like one last game. Do we have any other analysis games? We did Aldisto's game, right? Oh, Aldisto wanted to analyze that. Okay, we'll analyze this and finish the stream with this. Aldisto wanted to go over our game. This was Aldisto versus me. We can look at it from Aldisto's perspective, which would be interesting. So, guys, good game, Trouts. Nice try. I'm gonna cancel these challenges. Play no more today. We're done. Just game analysis of this Chess 960 with Aldisto. This will finish up the stream for tonight. I was white here, and Aldisto played. I was making fun of the Grob, and he played G5. Then E4. Yeah, so we've got to draw the line between people who are trolls and just like, you know, insensitive. I think Mahmoud is just like, you know, maybe it's lost. You know, he's just being insensitive. It's okay, I can take it, you know, as long as he's not making fun of me personally. 93, we're better here. This guy's pretty good, Stefan NK, Chess 960, I've noticed here. Not a record holder, but he's decent, Chess 960 player. He's got a game with white. I don't really like the way black weakened himself with G5. But Aldisto said I was winning. This was a good move, I wasn't sure about D4. Now he goes F5. This is a crazy sacrifice, just like an intuitive pawn sacrifice with black. I mean, damn, dude, that's the second best move according to Stockfish. That's insane. That's the best move according to Stockfish. Holy shit. No, it's now dropped to second place. Damn, dude, F5. I was amazed, man. It was like, you're black, you know, you're like a move behind in development, and you're like sacking a pawn. I thought this was really an amazing move. Pawn takes F5, bishop takes H1, rook takes H1, and now knight D6. Sacking a pawn for the initiative. I thought this was pretty amazing. My favorite variant is, you can see, Chess 960. The only variant I play. I played Queen D3 here, slightly better as F takes E6. Apparently, I didn't really understand why bringing his knight into the game is better, but apparently that's the case. And then he took a timeout to play King B7. I was surprised by that, you know, because my queen will get really misplaced if it goes to A6, so maybe he can find better. The engine's like Queen F6, allowing Queen A6 check. So that was a little bit of a loss of time. One of the only like passive moves, but it's almost like castling, so it's not necessarily just passive. I mean, instead of castling, he just plays the move King B7. It's not bad. B3. This was a pretty good game until a point. So I basically, you know, won a pawn, but he's got some threats. Played Bishop B2. You know, at this point, I made a very major oversight, which happens a lot. I forgot I can castle. You know how like there's a piece on A1, and you're like, oh, I can't castle. So I don't play that much Chess 960. Castle's queenside is possible here, so it was sort of a waste of time to not castle queenside. 96, then I castled. He played Rook F8, F3, and yeah, I actually expected Rook F7, the move the engine is suggesting here, to double along the F file, but his move is also good. H5, Rook F1, Rook E8, you know, so I thought that doubling on the F file there might be slightly better. And then Knight G2, and I'm better, but here I was sacking a pawn. Knight takes D4, Knight C4. I talked about this, and I said I would mention it after the stream. He can actually snap this pawn on D4. That's a lot hinged on this. So that Aldisto, I think, was your biggest tactical mistake. Not taking this pawn and probably equalizing. I calculated pretty far here. Some kind of like knight ending, or rook ending, rather. had actually calculated all the way to the rook ending. How did this go? Yeah, knight takes, bishop takes, whatever takes, queen takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes. And then, like, unfortunately, if I play this, you have, like, rook check, king b2, and rook f2. And the really perverse part is, like, when he goes... No, when I go here... Wait a minute, that doesn't work. This doesn't work for him. Oh. No. Oh, man, I had a hallucination. Oh, he's got to play h4. That's it, not rook check. h4. So I'd actually calculated this far. G takes h4, rook h3. And black is fine. It's like a draw, probably. So it's all like a forced draw if you play knight takes d4 into that rook ending. But you missed your chance to do that, and then c6 was a horrible move. But here, you know, you found the only move, c5. I didn't see that d takes c5 was a good move for me. For some reason, I just feared, I don't know why, I didn't sense this was so strong. I just feared, like, opening the long diagonal for you, you know? So this was like the key moment where I missed a really strong continuation, and I'm just, like, positionally clearly better up a pawn. So I played d5, keeping the lines closed, and then Aldisto with knight d4. Suddenly he's active. He's threatening knight e2 check, knight c3. I have to go here. And then this was, according to the engine, not the best move, but I thought the b5 was good. I thought it created the most difficulties. I put my knight on a passive square, afraid to put it on e3. Another fantastic move, and Aldisto had, you know, we both had very little time here, so queen b7. Apparently I'm supposed to take the knight on d4, set up a blockade. I thought bishop takes d4, bishop takes d4. I did not sense how strong this was. Although, yeah, my move, it would have been better to go knight to e4 first. I played c3. I guess this was a mistake. Knight f5, and now knight e4. I don't know what to do. I'm just up a pawn here, but apparently I missed g4, which never even entered my mind. g4. So g4, I was scared of c4. If g4, c4, b takes c4, b takes c4, I just moved my queen somewhere, and then I'm going to fork him with, like, knight to d6. So it's a second tactical win, but I just didn't have very much time. I had 20 seconds, so I just tried to play like a safe move, and this was actually a blunder. I played knight e4 here. g4 wins, but I played c4. Just really, I was down to 11 seconds, and I panicked at this point with a winning position with g4. But after this, Aldisto played great. I thought it was impressive technique. You know, it wasn't that easy. I really thought I put up pretty good resistance. I mean, white has almost enough compensation here. This was best move, according to the engine. Queen b4. He found with like 18 seconds left. That apparently was a mistake. Again, best move, according to the engine. Queen d4 check going to this ending. Now I've got problems. I played the best chance. Rook e2 check. I have to go up because rook c2 loses to d3. Now he's taking my h2 pawn. And apparently, well, rook f5 is good as well. You played that next move. Man, this is like... He's only got like 20 seconds per move, and he played really, really well. Rook takes f3. I mean, maybe it's not that hard, but this move was like stunning too. I mean, you know, he has 15 seconds, and he finds king c7. I guess it makes sense, but I just thought it was an excellent, you know, endgame by black, where he found like all the good moves with very little time left. Not easy at all. You know, now I'm probably lost. Though I still tried to put up some resistance. B4. He has to win the game again, basically. I really thought I was going to hold this at this point. Now here, apparently, I should have played rook takes d3. Rook takes d3. King takes d3. I think it's lost, though. It should be lost. Rook takes d3. Straight up, like king versus king and pawn, and rook versus king and knight and pawn. I mean, it should be lost. So, I don't think there is a solution here. King d4, apparently. Let's see, rook takes d3, rook takes d3, king takes d3, rook g4. Now I guess I can play king c3. Is this a win or not? There's no table base. Smells like Zugzwang to me. I don't know. Rook h4, king b3. But is it Zugzwang? Yes. See? That's probably it, like rook d4. So I'm like, it looks like I'm in Zugzwang here. I can't move my knight. I can't defend the b4 pawn. Once I lose this pawn, it has to be lost. King b3, rook d4, king a4, like rook takes d5, rook takes d5, king b5, king c7. Right, and that's table base. That last pawn goes off, we reach the table base, and black is winning. But I was really impressed by your technique there in the ending, Aldisto. Obviously not a perfect game, but you know, with the amount of time you had left, I thought it was really, really good. All right, guys, that's it for the subscriber stream today. We had some interesting games. Sorry I couldn't play everybody. Nefedov, you're back. We played the first game with Nefedov hours ago. Good to see him again, but we got to finish for today. So tomorrow morning I'm going to be back. We're going to be back Friday morning, 10 a.m. CEST, Central European Summertime. I want to thank everyone for tuning in for the subscriber stream. We are looking for a new moderator. You know, we may have to get two moderators, like one to play, you know, one to be here when I'm doing my morning streams, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and someone else who would be around like when I do the evening streams, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. But I take volunteers. All you have to do is control the trolls. No special requests. If anybody wants to volunteer, that's cool. Cloudberries, what's up, man? Thanks for subscribing. And we will see you guys tomorrow. So thanks again, everybody. Move 11, Nefedov, Trouts, Cloudberries, Ayeste, Aldisto. Who else did I forget? A lot of people. But anyway, all you guys, I want to say thank you for subscribing. We will be back tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.